Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I'm live. I got a special guest, Sporting Icons. What's going on, dude?
Hey, Hitman, how's it going, man?
Going great. A lot of stuff going on in boxing, a lot of stuff to talk about. And props to you for getting Dillian White to do one of your intros. That's two boxers you've got. You're basically a celebrity right now.
Exactly, man. I'll start charging for autographs soon, huh?
That's what you're gonna have to. You're popping right now.
Thanks, man.
But you know who else is popping right now?
Hitman Boxing?
I don't try to toot my own horn, but I'm at 2,000 now.
Yeah.
I'm growing every day. You
Congrats,
know,
man.
I appreciate that. But I was actually going to say Deontay Wilder is what's popping right now.
Yeah.
Wilder from Alabama. He's popping right now.
The bronze bomber, whatever. Yeah. He's doing
The
good, man.
bronze bomber, the drug trafficker. No, I'm not even going to say that. But
Mr. Grow, Mr. Grow your own.
exactly. Now, what do you make of this whole Deontay Wilder, Bermane Stiverne, Luis Ortiz situation? What do you make of it?
It's a bit of an odd one. I mean, I know a lot of it come from online. Was it Boxing News or whatever it was? Boxing Scene.
Yep.
And because Wilder, he released that video saying that announcement soon, the number 39 victim, all that kind of thing. And the boxing scene online immediately jumped on Luis Ortiz. I'm not quite sure where they got that from, but it sounds good though. When I first heard it, I was like, yeah, that does sound good. And I kind of bought into it for a bit.
Right.
But of course, nothing is confirmed yet. There's like 100 YouTube channels, and you and me were no different when we first heard this. It was like excellent, and we do like our videos and all this kind of thing. And then I kind of got thinking, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. so
Right.
so maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves on this one. And I know a lot of other channels are all over it, saying, see, Deontay Wilder, he's stepping up now. He's going to take on Luis Ortiz, and now Stiverne is blocking it. But there's no foundation yet to say that it was Luis Ortiz. It could have been Dylan White. It could be somebody else, or it could just be Stiverne.
I agree. Now, when I heard the news, I was like, oh man, are you serious? This is about time this guy steps up and fights somebody worth his while, someone
Mm.
who could be perceived as, I guess another A-level fighter because he's got nothing but bums on his record, to be honest. And when I went to his Instagram account, he left a long-winded message like he always does.
Mm.
And then there was a picture after that, and it was like Dillian White like getting knocked out or knocked down or whatever, right? So I'm like, oh well, he must be in negotiations with Dillian White. And then I get the thing from boxing scene. They're talking about Luis Ortiz, and I'm just like, where did that come from? It seemed like it came out of nowhere with no basis, no. I don't know where did it come from.
No, I mean, the boxingscene.com, they're very one-sided, especially with Wilder. They love Wilder. I've read a few of their articles, and sometimes that's where I get some of my ideas for videos from. But they're very, very biased towards Wilder, and naturally they're going to come up with Luis Ortiz. But why would you take Luis Ortiz when you got $4.5 million offer from Dylan White?
That's a good point. He doesn't stand to make that kind of money against Luis Ortiz. Personally, I think the Dillian White fight is easier than Luis Ortiz. But at the same time, I mean, people are pushing for him to take a step up fight, right? So if you look at the two, when he's talking about he loves his fans and he wants to do what's best for his fans, logically you would think he would want to pick Luis Ortiz to prove himself, to prove that he can beat a top tier opponent because he has not done so in his career thus far.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Luis Ortiz, if it is Ortiz, of course, it's a good move because he needs to do something in front of his home crowd, like you guys, of course, to get you guys on side first. But with Dylan White, he's going to have to travel. Does he want to do that? Maybe not. So maybe that could be the swinging pendulum.
Man, look, Luis Ortiz is promoted by, well, he's under Al Heyman, right?
Right.
Um, I'm just gonna be honest. Deontay Wilder's not about to fight Luis Ortiz. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna fucking happen. He's gonna fight Bermane Stiverne,
Yeah.
and Bermane Stiverne's talking about, he's not gonna take any step aside money. He wants Deontay Wilder next. It sounds like he wants to take legal action if they go in a different direction. I know he said that he hasn't had any conversation with Don King about potentially taking the step aside money so that we could get Wilder and Ortiz. But yeah, I mean, he hired some heavy hitters for his team, man. He hired James Prince. You know about James Prince, right?
Right. Yeah. He's a pretty handy when it comes to law, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's the thing. I did a video earlier on this morning, UK time, saying that you know what? I think the whole video was about Stiverne. That's what I thought. And the reasons that I gave was the fact that Stiverne has said, I am not taking step aside money for nobody. Now, I know this whole thing about the TV networks over there, whatever they are, don't want to show Stiverne versus Wilder. They're quite happy to show Wilder, but for whatever reason, they don't want to show Stiverne. Now, what's the WBC going to do about that? Because at the end of the day, I mean, they need to make some money, right?
that's
I know that they get their sanction fees, but I would presume the more money the fight makes, the more money they would make. If the fight ain't
right.
doing shit, would they want it? Probably not. Luis Ortiz, big name. He's getting on a bit now, but he's dangerous.
Yeah, I think Luis Ortiz is a very dangerous fight. Um, like I said, Deontay Wilder, I want to like the guy. I just don't like what he's doing with his career. So honestly, if it is about Luis Ortiz, I think he's doing this to try to please some of his fans, please some of his detractors, and try to get people back on his side before he attempts to take it to the next level and fight Anthony Joshua. Um,
Right.
I don't know what Deontay Wilder is going to do with his career, to be honest with you. He's seemingly a B-side for life with the route he's taking in boxing. He's B-side for life. So
Right.
I'm not even sure if he gets past Ortiz if he fights him. What do you think about the actual fight itself?
Well, I think it's a great a great fight for the fans, purely because finally we get to see him step up. It's only taken 39 fights to do it. Now, when I did the original video on the potential of Luis Ortiz, Dylan White, and potentially Klitschko as well, um, I got a lot of comments saying to me, "I hope once this is officially announced, we're going to get an apology from you." And my response is quite simple: why would I apologize? Because one fight doesn't erase 38. So
True.
you ain't getting a goddamn apology. I'll give him props. I will give him props for
Yeah.
finally stepping up. But no, there'll be no apology coming from my lips if he fights Luis Ortiz next, or whether he fights Joseph Parker or Anthony Joshua. There'll be no apology because it's taken long enough.
No, I agree with you 100%. I'm just reading the comments. The WBC fucked this up when they didn't force the Ortiz versus Taverne fight. I
Great
remember
comment.
when, yeah, remember when the WBC ordered that fight? If I
Hmm.
recall, Taverne said he didn't want to fight Ortiz or he backed out or something, right?
Right.
So, he backed out. But I'm just trying to figure out how he got in a position to be Deontay Wilder's, mandatory. I don't get how he got back in that position he fought David Rossi, right?
Right. Now, this all stemmed back to when Povetkin tested positive for the Wilder fight.
Uh-huh.
He got like some kind of like a sabbatical or whatever. And rather than him coming straight back into mandatory as punishment, is a case of now you've got to fight Bermane Stiverne to get the right to fight Wilder for the mandatory. And of course, Povetkin tested positive again, as did a lot of people are forgetting this. Stiverne also tested positive as well at that time. But the whole Povetkin thing blew out of hand. And I think the B sample for Stiverne came in clean. So rather than them waste time for another #1 challenger fight, if you like, they just pushed him straight into mandatory, even though he'd had one fight in 2 years. Since he lost his belt to Wilder, he'd had one fight against Rossi in 2 years.
So there's no way that this guy beats Wilder after that long layoff. He looked like shit against Rossi. I mean, I don't get what he's trying to do here. It's if the narrative is true and Wilder is actually in negotiations with Ortiz, I don't understand why Stiverne doesn't take that step aside money and get himself some new clothes and a new fucking house because he ain't making no fucking money.
Yeah.
Not in his pockets like that, but I know he ain't getting no money right now. Okay,
you're right.
So
you're right.
He needs to take that money.
Well, that's the thing with the step aside money. It isn't just a case of if you're guaranteed $500,000 for the fight, you're not just going to get a couple of grand to step aside. You will get the equivalent to what you would make in that fight, just to wait a couple of months. So, of course, when you have the fight, effectively, you've doubled your money for just waiting a couple of months. Why would you not do that?
He's stupid, man. Like he's not going to be able to beat Wilder. I really wish Wilder had knocked him out so we wouldn't even be talking about this shit.
Well, yeah. Again, I mean, that's the thing. If you look back at the fight, he's the only guy who's ever gone the distance with Wilder. But going from memory here, I don't really remember him troubling Wilder too much. And
he
Wilder
wasn't.
that's the thing. And Wilder isn't known for winning rounds, if you know what I mean. He's known for waiting, being patient, and then unloading on his opponent to finish them off. So he doesn't really win a lot of rounds. So if Stiverne can't win rounds against Wilder, he's got no chance.
So, okay, another comment. Bermane Stiverne is just trying to get the highest payout possible. I mean, I would think that Eddie Hearn would be able to provide him with the biggest payout possible.
Definitely. I mean, but of course, to get to that point, Wilder has to agree to it.
That's true.
Of course, Eddie Hearn, if he's offering Wilder $4.5 million and plus TV revenue, I don't know how much TV revenue equates to because I don't know whether or not Wilder is he pay-per-view over there.
No, he's not pay-per-view anywhere in the United States of America.
Really? Okay.
No.
The WBC heavyweight champion of the world is not pay-per-view.
The WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Bomb Squad, is not a pay-per-view attraction. He is a B-side that fights on regular TV.
Yet, a little guy from Kazakhstan and another one from Mexico are.
Exactly.
How's that happen?
Well, boxing in the United States it's shit, man.
Really?
But really, Golovkin's been on pay-per-view twice, right? Or wait, just once. I can't remember.
All right.
But Wilder's no attraction. He's no pay-per-view attraction. People don't know who he is really, but
But doesn't he need to take some blame on that though? Because if he'd been fighting better opposition, wouldn't that be gaining more interest? TV networks would be more interested and then be putting it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's typically how it works. You take fights, you take step-up fights, and you put yourself out there. You gain a following similar to what Anthony Joshua has done, and you get a good promoter, and maybe you can make some things happen. He should go over to Eddie Hearn, man. He should holler at Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is a great promoter. Like, you can say what you want to say about Eddie Hearn. You can call him a snake, a weasel, but he knows how to promote his fighters.
Yeah, he does. He's one of the very few promoters out there that I consider almost like one of the people. I know he was born with like a silver spoon with money in the pocket, but he does act like one of us. So, I like him, and the fact that he's willing to throw his fighters in with anybody. And for him to try and push $4.5 million onto Wilder when Dylan White has yet to, he's had one pay-per-view fight and that was against Joshua. So he's not a pay-per-view in his own right. But yet to throw $4.5 million, that is a sign of a good promoter, somebody who wants his fighters to do well. And I've seen that Lou DiBella and Eddie Hearn had a bit of a beef a couple of weeks back, and Eddie Hearn pretty much told him to sit down and shut the fuck up.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, because Lou DiBella kept saying that uh, you should be paying Wilder $7 million. You should do this. You should do that. And Eddie Hearn is like, well, until we get this fight signed, sit down, shut up. It's got nothing to do with you. So,
That's funny that he would even say that.
yeah, that's
You
it.
know, I don't know. Heavyweight division, I'm just I don't know. It's frustrating, man, because I mean, I want to see what's next for Deontay Wilder. I really hope it's Luis Ortiz. I want to be
Yeah,
very disappointed if it's Bermane Stiverne. But at the same time, I understand this is mandatory. It's is mandatory.
right,
And if Stiverne doesn't want to take the step aside money, which he should, then we really
right. Yeah, I mean, through no fault of his own, he's going to have to fight Stiverne. Now, about a month or so ago, when he was talking about Stiverne, he said, "I don't want to fight him. It's a boring fight. I've been there. I've done it. I don't need to do it." But the WBC seemed to somewhat be protecting him. So I think that's why Stiverne is mandatory, and I think that's why he's been pushed onto Wilder. But of course, now they've got to be looking at this thinking, well, if nobody wants to show this fight, what are we going to do? So Luis Ortiz is a great option. Now, I know Wilder isn't supposed to be talking to Luis Ortiz or anybody, not without Stiverne say so, but as they're promoted by the same guy, then it's easily done behind closed doors where Stiverne don't need to know about it.
see that's why he's invested in this legal team, or so he says. No,
Mm,
you really can't take these guys at their word. You want to take it with a grain of salt. We really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But, well, I know the WBC is a corrupt organization, just like any of the other sanctioning bodies.
right.
And like you said, I do think they are protecting Wilder. That's not going to change. Brandon White, what's up, man? But I don't know. I don't know what else to say about the situation. I really don't.
Thing is, I mean, you got to look at it. I mean, the Wilder fanboys, and there are a lot of them out there who will protect him no matter what he does, which is why he's never stepped up because he's never needed to, because he's always had that contingent of fan base where they will protect him from the likes of you and me. But the likes of you and me, if he is finally stepping up, they need to be thanking us because we have put him in that position.
I agree. The more we, you know, talk about Wilder, we make these funny videos about him. You do the coward of the county video. The more you do that, I mean, to you that Deontay Wilder has seen one or more of your videos. I'm sure he hears things, and we have the power to force these guys fight the people we want them to fight. Believe it or not, you know
That's right. We we're the ones who put money in their pockets, so of course.
we do.
But I mean, I think the whole thing it's a bit fishy to me, and I mean, I'll say it again, just like you did. I think that video was Stiverne. Now, I know why people are saying it could be Luis Ortiz because they share the same promoter, and the fact Luis Ortiz was asking for the fight when Wojcik got tested dirty, and he was about to announce Jared Washington as his opponent. And in between that time, Luis Ortiz said, "You know what? There ain't long to go. I'll step in, no problem." So
Mm-hmm.
people have put two and two together and come up with five. That is going to be, you know. But for me, the whole video could well be about Stiverne because Stiverne has been asking for the fight. He's been pressing to have that rematch for the last couple of years. So he has also been asking for that fight. So it could make perfect sense that it's Stiverne. But Wilder is making it look like he's trying to get the big fight. Incidentally, he only does that when either A, the guy he's talking about is busy, or B, he's busy.
It's a shame, man. I kind of feel like you're right about this whole he was talking about Stavern thing. I just hope you're wrong, and I
Yeah,
hope it's somebody else. I want Dillian White. I want Luis Ortiz. Or give me Dillian White and Luis Ortiz after. I'll take that.
yeah.
But
I mean, if the whole thing is about Stiverne and Wilder has made a bit of a boo boo, if you like, with that video, and now he would have heard about everyone talk about Luis Ortiz, he's going to be thinking, ah, shit. So now I wouldn't be surprised if he now negotiates with Luis Ortiz to fight after Stiverne, and that will be like a double announcement for him. Yes, I'm going to be fighting Stiverne. I know you're pissed off about it, but here we've got Luis Ortiz straight after, and that will appease the fans. And to be fair, I'd take it.
That works for me.
Yeah,
that definitely works for me.
well, that's the thing. I mean, it's a decent fight, and I mean, to be honest, I think I would favour Wilder against Luis Ortiz, only just. But Luis Ortiz is dangerous, very, very dangerous, and he can put out your lights at any given time, and that's what I like about him, and that's why I want to see Luis Ortiz versus Wilder. While I do believe Wilder will beat him, he's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm agree with you. I would pick Wilder to beat Ortiz. Um, to be perfectly honest, when it comes to Luis Ortiz, what was that fight? Okay, so let's see. I'm just looking at his box rec. So Brian Jennings,
Mm-hmm.
Tony Thompson. I saw that. Okay, the Malik Scott fight. That's the fight that pissed me off.
Right.
Because when he fought Malik Scott, he looked kind of bad. He looked like he's not able to beat a fighter who is athletic, who can move around. You know, he had problems cutting the ring off. So I think that was a 10-round fight too. That was 10 rounds, man. That went the distance. I mean, after that, he fought David Allen and he stopped him.
Yeah.
But I think Luis Ortiz is starting to look his age because he is 38. You know, low key, Cuban boxers, you know, Cuban athletes in general, you know, I've heard things about them lying about their age. I would say Luis Ortiz is about 40 plus.
I agree.
I don't think he's, and this is not to discredit Luis Ortiz at all. He's still a great fighter. And I think that if, you know, he fights Wilder and Wilder beats him, I give him full credit. All I'm saying is Luis Ortiz isn't looking as impressive as he's looked in the past, you know?
No. I mean, the Malik Scott one, I mean, but didn't he go down after a jab or something? I mean, as soon as Luis Ortiz just like lifted his glove, wasn't he on the deck?
I don't remember him putting Scott down at all, to be honest with you. I just remember it being a very boring fight. Like, I was hyping him up to my buddies. I was like, hey, Luis Ortiz, you know, he's a big athletic heavyweight. We got to check this out. And we watched the fight, and I'm just like, terrible choice of fight because he didn't do nothing against Malik Scott. He couldn't even cut the off. You know what I'm saying? It looked bad.
Yeah, I mean, that was his debut for Eddie Hearn as well, wasn't it? Over at Matchroom. Over in, was it Monaco, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah, it was in Monaco.
Yeah, and he did that, and we thought, all right, okay, then we're just going to put it down to maybe an off night because we've seen how dangerous that he has been against Bryant Jennings, Tony Thompson, as you said. But with Dave Allen, that was only Dave Allen's 12th fight.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And Dave Allen has got zero amateur experience. He's actually learning on the job. So with like 3 weeks' notice, he said to Eddie Hearn, I'll fight him, no worries. Right after he already fought Dylan White as well. So yeah, he got in there and gave a pretty good account of himself. It was an 8-rounder, and he got stopped with 1 second left to go in the 7th round. So he nearly made it to the end as well.
Oh wow, yeah. I missed the fight. It was a month after that fight with Malik Scott, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, with Dave Allen as well, he actually rocked Ortiz a couple of times as well. He hit him flush, and Ortiz stumbled back. And had Dave Allen got the energy, because he's quite a big lad, he like gassed out after about 2 or 3 rounds. But had he have had the energy, he may have been able to finish him off. But
I don't really trust Luis Ortiz's chin, man. I don't trust it. I think he gets robbed by Wilder.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've seen when I was talking some Luis Ortiz, because he said that about his whole WBA situation, that he could be suing the WBA because he should be fighting next Anthony Joshua. And rather than like I just use like a photo clips at times, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a bit of footage. And of course, I got loads and loads of fights of him, cut little bits off.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was editing it, on 2 occasions, I've seen him get hit and his legs wobbled. I was like, Wilder will kill you.
Oh,
if he hits you.
because when Wilder gets you hurt, he goes in for the kill. He knows how to do that. for
That
sure.
windmill comes out, man. That windmill comes out. There's no stopping it. He don't even have to hit you for the referee to step in, man.
He just swinging his arms, man, and the referee stops the fight. No damage
Yeah,
done, but you know how they like to do.
yeah. Well,
So,
maybe it's a wind, you know what I mean? Maybe it just knocks you for six, you know? Who knows? But I mean, if it's not going to be Luis Ortiz and he's negotiating with somebody and it's not going to be Dylan White, what do you think of the whole possibility of Klitschko?
man, that's definitely not gonna happen. But I will
They
say
should,
this: I would like to see that fight. I've always wanted to see Klitschko and Wilder. I always wanted to see them matched up in the ring. I've always wanted to see that.
yeah, it's same as. I mean, I kind of thought, well, it's a bit of a long shot because I know he's waiting to do a decision on Joshua, but he doesn't really seem to be too interested. Otherwise, he would have said, "Yeah, I'm going to take it" a long time ago. So I'm thinking that now because he's been put into the number two position behind Stiverne, if something happens with Stiverne, he becomes mandatory.
Yeah, that'd be a good scenario, but likelihood of that happening,
Yeah, very,
I'm not
very
sold
slim to
on it.
none.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't know what more to say about the situation. I'm not sure when we're gonna get a decision on Deontay Wilder, but when hold up, Grimbus, man, I dropped the final prediction on that. I just dropped the video. So after you're done listening, make sure you hit the thumbs up, and then you can go watch the other video about Gerald Washington and Jarrell Miller. The topic at hand here. When is Deontay Wilder going to make his actual announcement? Because he's been making an announcement for months right now.
Yeah, he has. I thought that he would have done it already. I mean, when did he fight Washington? That was good 3, 4 months ago, wasn't it? That was quite a while ago.
Yes, it was beginning
And
of the year.
yeah, and unless he's been injured yet again, because he has very fragile hands, he's got hands made of chips.
They're made of.
Um, so unless he's been injured again, I don't know why it takes so long. Especially as it's only Stiverne, he should walk through Stiverne. Really, I'm not discrediting Stiverne. He's a good fighter, but he's not A class. But I think the announcement will probably come within the next week or two. I would imagine.
Man,
Hopefully tomorrow. That'd be nice.
that would be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And just for the record, he fought Gerald Washington back in February, and we're now in
Damn.
July.
Oh, so 5 months ago now then.
Yes, and they're talking about his next fight's going to be in what, November, right?
Yeah, I heard November the 4th could be the Luis Ortiz one if it is Luis Ortiz. Actually, yeah, going back to this one, Stiverne gave an interview about 2 weeks ago where he said that he's negotiated the money and he's negotiated everything. He's just waiting on a venue and a date. So that's pretty much finalized. That was 2 weeks ago. So what's happening? No idea, man.
You know what they're trying to do? All they're trying to do is they're trying to make it look like Deontay Wilder was really trying to fight Luis Ortiz and that Bermane Stiverne stopped this whole situation, man.
That's
They're trying to pump Deontay Wilder up, man.
that's exactly what they're doing, or I believe that's what they're doing anyway. But could you imagine though if he he actually announces Stiverne and that was a big announcement? The uproar of the fans would be unreal. That
But
stadium's going to be empty.
if he announces, well, if he fights in Alabama, it's going to be pretty full because they like their bum squad out there.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
if he announces Stiverne as his next opponent, I am going to destroy him on YouTube. I'm going to destroy him on my channel, and it really doesn't matter what the situation is. I'm going to destroy him on
Exactly.
my
That's
channel.
exactly what I'm thinking. That's why I'm kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt for now. I haven't really dissed him too hard over like the last couple of weeks. But if he comes out with Stavern and then ends it, as in there's no Dylan White after or no Luis Ortiz after, I swear I will crucify him harder than I've ever crucified him before.
Yep.
Because he has an opportunity. He doesn't have to just announce one fight. There can be, I mean, look at Golovkin and Canelo. Golovkin and Canelo signed their fight while Canelo was fighting Chavez Jr. And Klitschko did the same with Joshua while Joshua was fighting Molina. So future fights can be signed.
Yeah, they can. Um, yeah, they could do that. That would make sense if he does that, but I still think he's ducking Ortiz despite all the rumors. And again, what more can I say about the situation? I've pumped out video after video. Do you have any final thoughts on the situation?
No, I mean, I did ask Dylan White if he was the one that Wilder was talking about, and he didn't confirm nor deny. So,
How did you
um,
get how did you get set up with Dillian White?
oh, Dylan White, yeah. Well, we've been speaking for a while, and he said, I don't know, quite a while ago that he would do like a little video or something to like help me out a bit. I went, okay, yeah, that's great, but I didn't expect him now because he's in camp right now because he's fighting in August over in the Crawford undercard. So I thought, well, it ain't going to be for a while. It's probably going to be after his fight. And yeah, today, lo and behold, the video dropped. But
Damn,
it took me like 5 hours to convert it though.
you one respectful motherfucker. I definitely can never get no shit like that. I talk so much shit about these fighters, man. I just
Yeah,
call them out on their bullshit, man. It's just,
yeah.
did
Well,
you
that's the
see,
thing. I'm going to see if Wilder's going to do me one.
man? Wilder, look, he doesn't even like address his fans on when he goes live on Instagram. He doesn't even like talk to his fans or nothing like that. He's
Yeah. I did
fucked
speak to
up.
him once. I did speak to him once, probably 3 years ago, 4 years ago, with Wilder. I was asking him a question. I said because he was sparring David Haye. You know when David Haye wobbled him in sparring? You've probably seen the footage.
Yeah, I seen
And
it.
yeah, and um, Haye pulled out of the Tyson Fury fight. And I said to Wilder, I says, when Haye comes back, if you were to become champion, would you give David Haye the first shot? He went, absolutely, I would for sure. But instead, who was his first defense? Was it Molina? It wasn't David Haye. I know that.
No, it wasn't David Haye. It was Molina, and then he fought DeHopis, and then I think it was Spilka,
Yeah,
and then the other I can't think of dude's name, Areola. Man, he fought nothing
yeah.
but bums, man. All I see is bums on his record, man. Shit.
I had to laugh the weekend. No, Spilka, he got knocked out in the fourth round against another Polish guy who was
The
fat.
Polish dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's really
I saw
fat.
that.
He didn't look too good, to be honest, but he beat the shit out of Spilka in round four. But yet Spilka beat the shit out of Wilder up until the knockout. Excellent knockout, but until then, I had Spilka winning.
Book could win in that fight too, but powers that equalizer, and he got stopped. So
Yeah, man. I mean, we can say what we like about him, but we can't dispute the fact he's got that knockout power that equals anybody. Anybody, even Joshua.
I think he's got more power than Joshua, man.
He may well do. He may well do because with Joshua, he does like the one big bang, then he steps back. Whereas Wilder, he does a bang and then he bangs again. If your legs don't wobble, he's cracking you again. So yeah,
Yes.
there's no escaping it. So I can't
Yo,
discredit.
you know what? People might hate me for saying this, but I kind of think Spilka took a dive, man. I kind of think he might have took a dive in that fight.
Yeah, against Wilder.
Yeah, guess what? I think he took a dive in that fight, man. I hate to say stuff like that, but that guy wasn't that convincing to me.
No, well, that's the thing. I mean, he was down for a long old time, wasn't
He was down for a long ass time, and he didn't even get cracked that hard.
he? No, no, he didn't, did he?
But
But
hey,
I think the way that he did fell, I think maybe he had kind of like he hit his head on the canvas a bit too hard, maybe. Yeah. Although I've seen that Jaron Miller, he says that after Washington, he wants either Dylan White or Wilder.
he's not gonna get Wilder. I like the possibility of him and Dillian White. That'd make
Mm,
for some very interesting fight build up before the fight. You know what I'm saying? But I
yeah.
would pick I would pick White to beat Miller at this point in his career. Um,
Yeah.
that's
I
just
mean,
me though.
well, I mean, the last time I seen Miller was a couple of pictures a while ago, and he looked massive. Well, really fat, really fat.
Yeah.
I'm presuming that he's dropped the timber now, but I mean, he was saying this kind of like the same things that a lot of people say about Wilder, where he says that in America they've been pining for a true American champion, and they're not taking to Wilder, so it's time for the big baby to do it because they'll take to me more than they do Wilder. You think
His
that's
nickname,
possible?
his nickname, no, it's not possible. Nobody's checking for Big Baby Miller at this moment. I like I like the trash talk, but in the ring, he's not that impressive at all. He's slow as
No.
fuck. Again, though, he's got that power, which is the equalizer, and I
Yeah.
think he's probably going to stop Gerald Washington. I foresee Gerald Washington controlling the action. Well, they fight in 10 days. I see Gerald Washington controlling most of the action. I see him
Mm.
gassing out or getting clipped with something. I think he's getting knocked out. His team has already expressed that they're worried about Jarrell Miller's past use. Jarrell Miller got popped for a performance-enhancing drug back in 2014, 1,3-dimethylamine. It's some light shit. It's not that bad. It's banned
That's
in the
something.
United States. It's some good shit though. I took it before. It's some good shit.
Isn't
But
that kind of shit? Don't you get that in like protein drinks or something? You can get it. You can get in.
it used to be in our pre-workouts over here before it got banned. So like
Right.
that shit will make you feel like you could walk through a wall. Like real talk, seriously.
Really? Damn. Well, it's strange, isn't it, that these kind of things are on the PED list, but yet cocaine isn't? That's amazing.
Cocaine's not on the ban list.
No, it's not. I mean, you get in trouble for it, of course, because it's an illegal drug.
Right.
But no, it's not on the list of PEDs.
Did okay? So Tyson Fury tested positive for cocaine, right?
Right.
This is
Yes.
after the fight with Klitschko, right?
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't even in camp. But yeah, but I mean, the thing is, it's not just about the cocaine. It's the fact that when UCAD, the British version of VADA, turned
Hmm.
up to his gym to test him, he told him to go fuck themselves. So
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
yeah, yeah. Then like an hour later, he said, "No, come on, I'm only joking," and they went too late. So now 2 years later, they're still dragging it on for him.
That's messed up. But Tyson Fury's career is over with. I don't give a shit about Tyson Fury.
It could well be. It could well be because although for quite a while he's been seeming kind of pumped, he's been saying, "I should be back by September. I should be back by here," and blah blah blah. But his last interview 2 days ago, he said, "I may retire." So um,
Man,
maybe he's getting some bad news.
he's like a female man. He doesn't know what he wants to do. He's indecisive.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what it is with Tyson is that I mean I've been saying it for a long time. Is the fact that the difference between him and Joshua is that Joshua had Eddie Hearn and a good team around him to say, this is what you say on camera, this is how you come across to the fans. Because whenever Joshua talks, he says, I'm nothing special. Any of you guys can do it if you work hard and train, da da da. Whereas Tyson's all about me, I'm the best, and fuck you all, and I'm the Gypsy King. So people are like, fuck you. So I think that's why that Joshua is more popular, and obviously Tyson don't like that.
Well, he's gonna have to deal with it, man, because
Yeah.
it's not working out for that man.
No. Well, I mean, to be fair, I'd like him to come back just to fight Wilder. When Wilder beat Spilka, you seen Tyson in the ring after. There's only one Tyson Fury, and they go into that little ruckus.
I
That
remember
was good
that.
for me.
That was entertaining to me. That was like a WWE type,
Yeah,
some WWE
yeah,
type call out stuff. It was cool, and I was interested in a fight between the two. It's just a
yeah,
shame that Tyson Fury got all these demons and he not strong enough to put
yeah.
all that stuff aside and just focus on boxing.
Well, that's the thing because when he won the title, like him and his dad were in the press conference saying that, I told you I was going to do this. Now give me respect. Basically, he's asking people for respect rather than people just giving it. So the press didn't do it. They slated him and this and the other, and he's like, "But I just won the title." But and the press are like, "We don't care." So you know, yeah, it kind of pissed him off a bit. So he fell out of love with it.
Hold
Although, what
up.
else is going on in like the heavyweight boxing world? Because it seems, other than Wilder, that's like the only real big talking point over the last couple of days.
Of course, Joseph Parker and his ducking of the drug testing, and or as some people might put it, he was ducking Deontay Wilder.
Man, I heard some of these videos that annoyed the shit out of me, man, because I'm like, I mean, he self-enrolled into the WPC wellness program, right? So he can be
Right.
tested as and when. I think it's what 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Um, and you're supposed to give like 1 hour notice if you're not going to be in town. And he didn't do that. He took an extended holiday to Samoa and didn't tell VADA. So a lot of these channels are, especially on the LDBC, I'm seeing them. These are the guys who shout that out pre video, and they're saying that well, because he's enrolled in the WBC testing program, and because he didn't turn up, means that he ducked Wilder because he's a drug cheat. I'm like, how the hell did you get that? It
I don't
don't make
know.
sense.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me. Like you said, he was on holiday in Samoa. I don't even know where the fuck Samoa is, but
Yeah, so
um,
you're in New
he
Zealand.
was on. Oh shit, really?
Yeah, yeah, they're there. Yeah, the thing was though that,
Damn, I need to up my geography game.
but one of the things that they didn't say though was the fact that he got tested on his fight a week or two earlier. Because as WBO champion, it's mandatory that you get tested before and after the fights. They seem to have neglected that from their videos.
Okay, so he was tested before and after he fought his sparring partner, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then
Okay.
about a week or two later, when the VADA team turned up to his house in Vegas, he wasn't there. So that
Hold up.
means,
He has a house in Vegas?
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, he's lived in Vegas for quite a while, and
Joseph Parker?
yeah, yeah. Him and his trainer David Higgins, they live over in Vegas, and but now they're going to be fighting in America now because the reason why he took on his sparring partner, that Kijano, was because he promised that the Hughie Fury fight would be his farewell to his New Zealanders, like his farewell fight to say goodbye. He needs to go off and make some more money. Obviously, the boxing money in New Zealand isn't as high as what it is in America and UK.
Right.
But of course, he trains over in Vegas. He's been there for a good couple of years now.
I had no idea. I honestly had no idea this dude lived in the United States. Um, I had no idea, dude. But I don't know who he's gonna sell his belt to. I don't know if he's gonna sell it to AJ or if he's gonna sell it to Wilder.
Again, that's one of the discussions. It's like a lot of these other channels. I mean, we ain't going to make them famous, Hitman, but they talk. Now they talk about that Parker is going to duck Wilder for Dylan White, or he's going to duck Wilder for Bellew or AJ. It was like, well, okay. I mean, Wilder is bringing the belt, and of course that's tempting for any boxer, right? But why would he go to Alabama and get maximum $1 million when he can fight Dylan White for 4 or 5? At the end
I
of the
agree.
day, having the belt around your waist isn't paying your pension plan, is
No, it's not. It's
it?
not.
So um, if he was to fight Bellew or Dylan White or David Hay, even he was mentioned for some bizarre, stupid reason, or AJ, it's going to be for money.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we all want to see an undisputed. So part of me is going to be disappointed because I want to be seeing undisputed. So if people are not going to be fighting Wilder because he's not bringing the money, that's a bit of a problem. So I think Wilder may have to travel.
He needs to travel, man.
Yeah,
He's got to. Um, was on record saying that Deontay Wilder's the next best heavyweight next to him. You know what I mean? So I think Anthony Joshua's got some respect for Wilder, but at the same time,
mm,
Wilder's got to start making moves with his career and start doing things that warrant him getting a big fight with Anthony Joshua. You know,
yeah,
but their paths will cross soon enough, as long as Wilder continues to fight these tomato cans. Uh,
yeah.
they'll eventually fight.
They have to. I mean, he's got to sell that belt at some point, isn't he? He's got to.
Yeah. Who's got to sell the belt?
Wilder.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Well, if he could be fighting for the equivalent to what, $10 million or $15 million to go to the UK and fight maybe in Cardiff where they hold like 70,000. I'm not too sure if they could sell out Wembley though. I'm really
You
not
don't think so?
convinced on that. They could if he come over and fought Dylan White, so his profile gets raised, maybe. But I think if he were to go to Cardiff, which is like a right next door to us, for 70,000, you'd probably get about $10 million for that. And I think for $10 million, I think when you earn that kind of money, if you can win, you'll try. But if you kind of get in trouble, you think, fuck it, I'm getting $10 million. So, but of course, it's one of those fights, though. And, I've been saying it for a long time. While I do believe Joshua would beat Wilder, I'm not 100% convinced on this.
I'm glad you're not, because I see it quite differently, actually. I
Yeah.
think Wilder knocks Anthony Joshua's ass out. His robotic, slow ass out, man.
Yeah. You know what? I don't think it's going to be one of those fights where we remember it in years to come. I think it's a case of whoever lands their right hand first wins. That's pretty much how it's
I
going to
think
go.
so too.
I don't think either of them have the punching endurance, if you like. So if either one of them gets hit to the gut, they get gassed because they're both pretty big guys. I mean, I
Right.
know Wilder has got like legs of a 12-year-old boy because they're super skinny, man. They are ridiculously skinny, man. But
Right.
but I mean, if Joshua was to connect with his body and then connect with his head, it's over, and vice versa, because we've seen Joshua gas out too.
Oh, he came in, against Klitschko. I think that was the highest weight he's ever come in at.
Mm,
And I always ask myself, like, why did you put on, all that extra weight to fight Klitschko? Because he gassed super early.
mm,
I wonder, had Klitschko been younger, had he been able to stop him, putting him down on the canvas? You know what I'm saying?
right. Well, I'll tell you what though, when I watched Joshua, I watched it live against Dylan White, and obviously round two when Dylan White clipped Joshua, his legs went, and for another good 2 or 3 rounds after that, his feet were like he had concrete in his boots. So he went very, very rigid. So if Wilder was to hit him, it'll be the same situation again where he can't defend himself like he couldn't against Dylan White and like he couldn't against Vlad. And we all know that Dylan White was injured at the time anyway with his shoulder. But if Wilder smells the prey like that, he's going to take it out.
I agree. Oh, I got people saying AJ stops Deontay Wilder in the fourth round. Can Deontay Wilder take a shot from, or at least a clean shot from Anthony Joshua? I don't know if Deontay Wilder could take a clean shot from Anthony Joshua. I'm willing to bet no, but the same goes for AJ. Can he take a clean shot from Wilder? I
Right.
think Wilder's got more knockout power. At least if he catches Anthony Joshua flush from the face, flush from his jaw, he is going down, because he is going down by people that don't hit as hard as him.
That's right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, we've seen both of them knocked out, so we know it can be done.
It can definitely be done.
I mean,
I don't know. I just look at AJ as he's slower. He's so slow, man. Like,
mm, yeah,
his punches are kind of telegraphed, but I don't know, man. Deontay Wilder doesn't have the best defense at all by any stretch of the imagination.
right.
Yeah, but that's a good fight, man. It's really a good fight. I really hope we get to see that in the next couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean that's one of the things I said about Wilder when we were talking about Stiverne there. The fact that Stiverne couldn't win rounds against Wilder, but everyone else does. We've seen what Duapas did to Wilder. His face looked like he'd been stung by a swarm of bees. It
I
just
remember that,
it was
yeah.
all swollen up, man. He looked proper fucked up. But yeah, I think with him and AJ, that will be a massive fight. Would it be in Vegas? Maybe, because I think Eddie Hearn's trying to make some kind of name for AJ over there. So
Yeah.
maybe they can. Is it the T-Mobile Arena? I think it's called.
Yeah, that's the newer arena in Vegas.
Yeah,
Um,
it was
yeah,
MGM before.
yeah, MGM, right. We'll have to see how, if Anthony Joshua and Klitschko end up having their rematch, if they have a rematch at all. If they have it in Vegas, we'll see how it does. And
Mm,
I mean, I think AJ stands to win over more fans in the U.S. than Wilder does at this point in both of their careers, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the first time I heard that. I have heard that some people say that AJ is more popular in the States than Wilder. And if there's any kind of validity to that, that's worrying.
Yeah, it is, man. But I don't know. I don't know what. I just feel like Wilder is just mismanaged, man. Like his Lou
Yeah,
DiBella just does a shit job. I don't get how they do such a shit job with an American heavyweight champion. Like he should be larger than life.
yeah,
People should know who he is. You know what I mean? People should know who Wilder is. And the PBC, Lou DiBella, have
yeah.
done a shit job with Deontay Wilder. Having him fight in Alabama, for, what the fuck for? Why are you not fighting in Vegas? Why are you not fighting in New York at the very least? Did he fight Stiverne in New York? I don't recall. But
Mm,
I just PBC just I don't know, man. They just do a terrible job with Wilder. And
yeah,
the guy, his backstory, he's got a good backstory with his daughter.
yeah,
The only thing that he's got that's fucking him up is the fact that he continues to fight bums.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't know. It's frustrating, man.
well, that's the thing. I mean, they need to invest. I think that they're worried about they're going to invest and not get their money back. But for me, throw him in at Madison Square Gardens, do something. Put a decent name. Luis Ortiz. If it is Luis Ortiz, put the damn fight in Madison Square Garden. Put it in Vegas. Put it somewhere where it's seen as the mecca of boxing. Because Mike Tyson, everybody in the world knew Mike Tyson. I mean,
Right.
I was a kid when Mike Tyson was at his peak, and I didn't really follow boxing when I was a kid, but I knew Mike Tyson. So why can't they promote Wilder in the same way? Because he's just as devastating.
Yeah. A guy who's got 38 wins, 37 knockouts. How is he not? How are they not promoting him? How are they not doing a better job at promoting him? And are you telling me that Alabama is not the mecca of boxing? Is that what you just told me?
Well, I stand to be corrected, but I heard somebody say, it may have been you, I don't know. Somebody said once, I heard it, is it Egg and Ham County?
What?
Egg and Ham County? I heard
Eggenham
this.
County.
Yeah, I heard that's what Alabama is. And well, like, isn't that where Forrest Gump comes from too?
I have no idea. He's a fictitious character.
Yeah, but in the is it Greenbow, Alabama? It is Greenbow, yeah, Alabama.
I think I think you're right though.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, I've seen Forrest Gump. It looks quite a nice place. I'm not saying anything bad about Alabama. I've never been there. So if anybody's listening from Alabama, I do apologize. I'm not having a dig.
Your
But
boys, your boy lives in. I'm not even gonna bring that guy up again because that's dead. We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into the beef
no,
online right now.
no, no, that's right.
But we're not gonna do that. Listen, if you're listening to the video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, please,
And subscribe.
and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Also, go over to Sporting Icons and subscribe to the channel.
Absolutely, absolutely. But
Have we talked about the prediction on Huey, Acne Fury, and Joseph Parker? Huey Fury is one ugly motherfucker. I'll tell you that shit right now. This motherfucker got pus all over his fucking body. I would not
yeah,
fight him. I would
no,
not fight Huey Fury because I'm not trying to get that gooey shit all over my body when it's exposed when you start that motherfucker.
yeah,
Getting all that pus and shit in your face.
yeah.
He just might be Joseph Parker because of that.
Yeah, well, you see, I was talking to another boxer. He wouldn't appreciate me saying his name, but it isn't Dylan White. And
Okay.
he said to me that, I mean, he's heavyweight as well. And he said to me that he believes that all that acne all over Huey Fury is 100% steroids. And he knows Huey too. He knows Huey. So,
It's so prominent though.
yeah.
But it's not doing him any favors.
No, well, he's cleaned it all up now because he had like this skin condition and he's been having a lot of this medication, so he's pretty much cleared up now. So when he fights Parker, he should see a nice shiny Huey Fury.
Parker's gonna outbox the shit out of him.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Parker is, I don't know, he's more aggressive as well. Whereas Huey, he's very much a back foot fighter, and I think Huey's heart will tell, because I've seen him fight Fred Cassie. Not many people have heard of Fred Cassie, to be fair, but Huey Fury was given up. Even Tyson Fury said afterward that I'm glad the fight got stopped due to a cut injury, and Huey won on points because Huey was dead.
I remember
His
that.
heart, yeah, I mean his heart gave up. So if Parker starts cracking his body and putting the pressure on, he may well quit in the middle of that ring.
That's what he does, though. Hold on, what is this? What's going on with Fury and the Nandrolone situation?
You know what? I did a massive video on all this about a month ago, and I was probably talking for a good 45 minutes to an hour. It's one of my longest videos. And yeah, so what it is, a lot of people are putting the whole UCAD situation, the fact that Tyson is banned and Huey was also tested positive at the time. So their steroid cheats is pretty much what was going around. But the B sample came back clean. So the A sample gets wiped out. So Huey Fury is innocent, but he still has to answer as to how the sample was found in the A sample to start with.
Cheating ass motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, you know what their reason was?
What was the reason?
They were eating some kind of wild boar that had steroid in it, and that's how they got into their system.
That's the worst excuse I've ever heard in my life.
I know. I've never heard of it, but I have heard a few people saying that it is true. But you know what? I'm not an expert on wild boar, so I can't really comment. So
A wild boar injected with some of that shit. Okay, cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
But
this.
Huey isn't banned though, so it's all good.
He's not banned.
No, he's not banned. He never faced a ban, and
Okay.
Tyson was never banned for that either. But a lot of people think that he was, but they weren't.
Sounds like some bullshit to me. But
Yeah, that's right. That's
all
right.
right, look, Sport Icons. It's been real. I gotta bounce.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do this again soon.
This
Everybody out there who's watching, make sure you go follow Sport Icons. Um, you got any closing words?
no, what we'll do is though, we'll give everybody like a bit more notice. I think we probably gave them all about 5-10 minutes notice on this one, didn't we? So
Yeah, it's all good. You know,
yeah,
we do whatever we want to here. So
well, yeah, that is true. But you know, we will give them a bit more notice so we can get a few more people on there, get a lot more comments, and maybe we'll answer some of their questions.
sounds good to me.
Yeah. So anyway, everyone, click that subscribe button to Hitman Boxing, and of course myself too. And enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, guys. Peace.